Newberry. Hi. Good, how are you? Okay, what flavor do you think I should get? Sorry. All right, y'all. Which flavor do you think I should get? So many flavors. Okay, y'all. So I got French vanilla, okay, which is on top. French vanilla. I also went ahead and got frozen yogurt, cookies and cream, okay, which is underneath the French vanilla here. And then I also have strawberry cheesecake. And so now I'm gonna come over here and get my toppings. Look at all these toppings. So many to choose from. Okay, so now I have my toppings on there. I have Oreos, I have pretzels, I put some graham crackers in there. I also have some Kit Kat pieces. I'm trying to see if I can even fit some more of these on top. Probably not. Ooh, pecans. So let's go over here. And we have almonds, peanuts, pecans. Let's try to do the pecans. Okay. Yes, I love me some nuts. I love me some nuts. So let's go as much as we can. And
oh my goodness.
yeah, I don't even think I can fit anymore, so I'm gonna just go with this, y'all. Okay. Okay, y'all, we got the Newberry, which is right behind me. Went and got it, so getting ready to eat it. I got the ice cream, girl. Got the ice cream. Okay. And I got, guess what? Not only did I get the ice cream, but I got you a spoon too. Because you're going to be eating this with me, okay? Or you can pretend you have your own, however you want to do it. But we got ice cream, y'all. This is the ice cream. It's from Newberry, okay? All the things, all the toppings. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see the deliciousness? So, yeah, we're not gonna eat this whole thing, okay? First of all, we're not gonna eat this whole thing in one sitting. That's not what we're gonna do. But we are gonna just talk and eat and take a time to take a deep breather and get our feelings out and get our emotions out. Cause yeah, we're having one of those days, and it's okay. And that's what I'm here for, is to cheer you up. So let's dig in and let's talk. All right, y'all. So, as you know, today's topic and subject matter is going to be on when you are going through and you have like that really, you're just having a bad day. You're just having a bad day. You're going through, you don't know what to do. I'm here for you. And so we're going to eat ice cream. We're going to talk about all the things, you know, that is common amongst people. We're going to be real with each other. We're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to get things out. And the hope is that by the end of this, you're feeling better. And you're feeling more encouraged. And not only that, you're feeling like yourself again. At least in a little bit of a sense. So, y'all, look at this ice cream. I'm sorry, but just look. We have a little bit of everything. We have everything, y'all. Everything. Pretzels, Sour Patch Kids, chocolate, pecans, peanuts, graham crackers, cookies and cream flavored ice cream, vanilla, French vanilla ice cream, strawberry cheesecake ice cream, Kit Kat pieces, Oreo pieces, graham cracker pieces, if I didn't say that already, like, yeah. So let's dig in, let's eat, let's enjoy. So I just, y'all. So let me figure out where I'm gonna start. So look at this bug flying, smells the food. Life can be so hard sometimes, right? Life can truly be so hard. Like, life can really chew you up and spit you out like sunflower seeds, don't it? It can really have you going crazy. Ooh, that was good. It can really have you going crazy. Sometimes, and people in life can have you going crazy too. And sometimes just the situations you're going through can have you not really seeing clearly. And I know that was me recently. That is me. So the last time I had talked to y'all or updated y'all on the last time I made a video, I was talking about obedience, right? Obeying Christ, listening to him, realizing a shortcoming, a mistake that I did, and how in this season of my life, not only is he revealing that to me, but it's been clear. I hope you can see me and hear me too, but it's been clear, it's been known, that I was in a season where I was disobeying him, disobeying Christ, and he had to take me through an experience to realize my mistake, to let me see myself and how I was going about things, right? And I finally got to a point where, and he got me to a point through the issue, through the mistake that I made. He got me to really see how obeying him could have saved me so much effort and time and energy, not to mention peace, like just mental clarity, mental peace, and could have saved me from so much. So I was going in detail about that, right? Obeying him. And how when you're obeying him and you're following after his word and after what he wants you to do, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to be a popular move sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be misunderstood, or you're going to be outcasted even for obeying him. But when you know what God told you to do and you do it, there's a sense of like peace. There's a sense of comfort. There's a sense of knowing that there's a sense of good that you feel, of knowing that you are doing what he called you to do. And so I'm speaking on when you do obey, why does it seem like everything is going upside down? That's what I'm speaking on. because that's how I feel right now. I feel like, okay, I obeyed Christ in what I know he told me to do. As unpopular as it was at first, as misunderstood as it was when I went and did it, I felt a sense of comfort, a sense of resiliency. I felt all those things. This is so good. I'm sorry, this is so good. I felt all those things. And I'm thinking like I'm like, okay, I'm obeying Christ. This seems like a easy step. It seems like the ways in which I was going about it. I'm like, okay, I'm obeying him. What else can go wrong? You know, that's how I was thinking it. That's how I was perceiving it. And little did I know. Little did I know, it seemed like all hell broke loose. Out of nowhere, all hell broke loose. And out the blue. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how I go from obeying Christ to now going through spiritual warfare? How I go from knowing what he told me to do to now being in a season of isolation, in a season of purging, seem like a season of being even more misunderstood. You know, I was simply just trying to obey one thing he told me to do, and it seems like the situation and the thing that I was like figuring out and trying to put all my energy in, the thing that took so much time for me, so much effort and energy from me, the thing that, you know, I really wanted, the thing that I was willing to sacrifice, end up crumbling. And that's not what I thought. That's not what I thought would happen. That's not what I thought that obeying Christ would end up that's not what I thought, right? That's not what I thought. I did not sign up for all hell to break loose, right? I didn't sign up to be in a situation where I have like no control over how I thought that I had control over. Because in a sense, I want to speak on this too. When you obey Christ, you may think in your head, you're like, oh, I'm gonna obey Christ in one area. I can obey what he's telling me. But what if that one thing that he's telling you to obey him in is the thing that's going to unravel other things in your life that you never knew or never thought he would unravel? What if obeying him led to him wanting to strip you from everything that you thought you knew? And I realized sometimes that's the scary part of obeying Christ, because you don't know. You don't know what the outcome may look like. You don't know how the situation, whatever the situation that you've built up or that you've had so much influence in, or that the thing that you spent so much time in, or the thing that you are just so doubtful about, you don't know how it's going to turn out when you obey Christ. You're just thinking, oh, I'm gonna just obey him. He says obey him in this way, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna finally do that. But I think too, that's why a lot of people don't obey Christ, because it's a lot of the unknown. And let me say, the unknown is a scary place. Like, from a person, coming from me, I'm the type of person where, like, I have to know. I have to know. It's not about, like, me not choosing to know. Like, I'm one of those pre-planned type people. Like, you got to know. I got to know A, B, C. I got to know this step, then this step, then this step. I got to know. I got to know. Like, in order for me to have some sense of assurance, I got to know. And I'm realizing more and more, God don't care nothing about what you got to know. He just wants you to know, are you going to be obedient to him? Are you going to be obedient to him? That's all he wants to know. He don't care about if you're a pre-planner or if you're a spur-of-the-moment person. And he don't care about nothing about that. He wants to know, are you going to do what he says and abide by what he says? That's what he wants to know. He wants to know, are you willing to ride with him even when it don't make sense? He wants to know, are you willing to give up everything you built your whole life up for? If he say at the instant, let it go, are you willing to walk away and let it go? And I had that moment recently. And I was just like that man in the Bible, where it was a man in the Bible who had an encounter with God, with Christ. And he wanted to know, how can I be a true disciple? Like, how can I be a true follower of you? What can I do to be pleasing in your sight? That's what the man in the Bible asked Jesus, asked Christ. How can I be more pleasing in your sight? What can I do to become honored by you, favored by you, to have so much gracing, right? And Jesus told him, when Jesus was alive, Jesus told him, all right, offer up all of your riches, everything you built your whole life on, the status you built, the influence you had. Give all of that up for me and follow me. Follow what I say do. Give everything up. In today's terms, that's like, give up your career that you built your whole life for. Give that up. Give up your status. Give up the influence you had over so many people. Like the small group of people, or the types of, or the current influence of people that you currently have. Give that up for even a bigger influence of people, right? In today's terms, that's also that'll be also similar to, give up your desire for however you think it's going to work out. Give that up and turn away from that and follow me. Give up your riches. Give up your wealth. Give it up. Give that thing that you find value in, that you find valuable. Give that up, turn it away, and follow me. And he said, and when you follow me, and then you'll be in a sense, you'll be like favored by me. And the man in the Bible couldn't do that. He cried because he couldn't do that. He could not give up. Y'all, it's melting. It's so good when it melts. But he couldn't give it up. He couldn't turn away from the thing that he built his whole life up for. He couldn't turn away the money. He couldn't turn away the influence. He couldn't turn away the land and the land and the sheep. He couldn't turn away none of that. And instead, he cried. He cried because he knew in that moment that the very thing he asked God to reveal to him, God revealed to him, but he didn't know it was going to cost him that much. I'll save some of this because this is so good. Sorry, so good. But he cried because he could not fathom giving up what he's known his whole life, or what he's built so much up, or what he's spent so much time in, or he couldn't fathom turning that up and following Christ and not knowing the outcome, not knowing how he'll get it back, not knowing when it'll ever come back. Like, he could not fathom the unknown. And he cried because he realized he missed his opportunity. The thing that he wanted, or so he thought he wanted, he cried because he realized doing that would mean giving up everything he known, everything he once knew. And oftentimes, that is exactly what God requires. If I can be honest, oftentimes that is. Not saying that it's the case every single time, no. But it's whatever God is speaking to you that he wants you to realize, that he wants you to be obedient to. He's seeing if you're really willing to be obedient in that, if you're really willing to offer it up at the cost of not knowing how it's going to turn out. And for some people, they can easily do that, no questions asked. But for most people, that's a hard thing to do. That's simply just a hard thing to do and to realize and to accept. And that's why a lot of people don't obey Christ. You know, they simply try to ignore. They kind of ignore what they know he's calling, or what they know he is seeking. They ignore it because they know, all right, if I get to that point, if I get so close to Jesus, if I get so close to Christ, what is he gonna ask of me? What is he gonna ask that I need to offer up? And a lot of people are kind of in a situation where they're not willing to face that reality. They're not willing to face that truth. They're not willing to go there all the way with Christ. And that is perfectly understandable. It really is. It's understandable. It really is, because even I'm in that moment right now. Like, what I thought that I was being obedient to turned out to be bigger than what I thought I was led to be obedient to. And also, it's like, I didn't know that just by following him and obeying him that it'll cost so much. It can cost a lot, and that's something that a lot of preachers and people of faith and believers and just Christian church people in general, a lot of preachers don't preach on the truth, the other side of the truth of following Christ, which is it costs you. It can cost you a lot of things that you didn't think it'd cost you, whether it's being obedient to him or whether it's not being obedient to him, but then coming back around to getting in a relationship with him again, coming back around to serving him again, coming back around to rededicating your life to him again. Even in that aspect, it can still cost you, because now you spent so much time going through and going through trials and tribulation, that now you do want a connection with Christ, because you do want to do it with him on your side. You do want to do life with him, but it still costs you. It costs you to turn from it. It still costs you something, is what I'm trying to get to. And that's something that's not often preached about. Oftentimes it's preached about, oh, you're going to get this, you're going to get this amount of money, you're going to get this much influence, plant a seed, give to the church, give to this, give to that. God is requiring you to elevate. God is requiring you to do this and that. But there's not enough emphasis on what it's going to cost you in the process. The friendships, the relationships, the job, the career, the family dynamics that you may have, some of your hobbies. It can cost you. It can cost you, your dreams and your plans of how you thought things was going to happen. Like, following Christ can and do cost you something. Whether you're being obedient to him or whether you coming back into a relationship with him, it's going to cost you something. It may not cost you a whole lot, and sometimes it will cost you a whole lot. But it's one of those things that's what I've been dealing with lately, is realizing how much it's costing me. And it's one of those things where I didn't think that it would be such this sense of sacrifice. It's really interesting. I didn't think it was going to be such a sacrifice to honor him, but it is a sacrifice to honor Christ. It is a sacrifice, just like he sacrificed his life for you and for me. There's a sacrifice that comes on the back end for those who follow him. You're sacrificing something. You're sacrificing the pleasures of this world for a forever home with him in the next life. And the pleasures of this world is enjoyable. It's pleasurable. It's promising. It's infinite sometimes. It's numerous. It can be long-term, long-lasting. Like, it's enjoyable. Sometimes the pleasures of this world, it has a way of making you think this is it. This is as good as it gets, or there's even better to come. But the reality is like, it's a time frame on everything. It's a time frame on everything. It's a time frame on the things of this world, because as long as we're living, we're just still in preparation for what's to come. And when I say for what's to come, I mean the afterlife, life after death. We're still in preparation for that. So a lot of people get caught up and hung up on the pleasures of this world, not knowing there's a whole nother world, there's a whole nother lifetime, that in that realm and in that world, it is everlasting. There is a thing of like long-lasting love, long-lasting enjoyment, long-lasting deliverance, long-lasting favor and happiness and joy and peace and comfort. But it's hard to see that when we live in this world, and everything is so, everything in this world is so, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's like it's hard to realize that there's more to that there's more to the story. A lot of people just get caught up on what life has to offer. And they get so caught up that they forget there's a whole nother, afterlife to this. And some people think that they have all the time in the world to come to Jesus, to get their relationship with him right and in order. So many people feel like they have all the time in the world to correct their wrongs. And so because of that, they choose not to obey him. They choose not to be willing to journey with him in this thing called life. It's one of those things where it's a hard pill to swallow, and I finally feel why that man in the Bible cried, because it's like, on one end, all you're used to is what you can see, what you can physically touch, what you can get for yourself. Like, we're used to certain things that it comes naturally to us, or that's easily to get or obtain, or we spent so much time, effort, and energy in the things that we want to do that when we finally get it, we can't even comprehend letting it go just as easily, when it took us seemed like a whole lifetime just to get. But he cried. The guy in the Bible, he cried because he couldn't let it go. He couldn't be obedient. He couldn't answer that call. He couldn't give up what he had. And the truth is, that's what a lot of people struggle with. A lot of Christians struggle with. They struggle with following Christ, no matter what it looks like. I'm gonna eat some more ice cream because, yeah. I'm gonna try to see the background. Hold on. Do you see that? See how beautiful it is? So, also too, oh gosh, my eyes. Also too, what I want to talk about that kind of like goes in tangent to obeying him, and that's another thing. Like, I was trying to go somewhere with that, but I went to a whole different thing. I want to speak to more on hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to kind of stuff my face because that ice cream was so good. Oh gosh, that ice cream was so good. Listen, when you're having a bad day, ice cream is definitely that go-to treat. Ice cream will make your day. It really will. But yeah, sorry I had got sidetracked. I was looking at something off in the distance. But, yeah, I'm back. So the other thing that I want to talk about and emphasize a lot about is speaking more so about the unknown. When you do finally get to that point where you accept things for what it is, and you're willing to like follow Christ to the very end, it's like there's an assurance about the direction of your life that there's an assurance and a comfort that comes that's like no other. And it's interesting that I say that because I have been really trying to trust God in this season, in particularly of my life. And it has been really difficult because I have been so afraid of the unknown for so long. There was a season of my life where it's funny that I'm thinking about it, because there was a season of my life where I was so happy. Like I had just got my first apartment. I'm talking about it was really nice. And maybe I should do a video on that, describing like my first place on my own. I probably will do a video on that. But yeah, I had got to a point in my life where I had my first apartment. I was living in a city that I always wanted to live in, which was Orlando. I'm from Florida, born and raised. So Orlando to me was like that city that I felt like, it just always felt good. Every time I went to Orlando, it just always felt like a good time. It just always felt just like a second home away from home. And so finally got my dream apartment, finally was living in my dream city. Y'all, I was so happy. I'm talking about so happy. Like I exude happiness. Like people used to always compliment me on like my skin all the time. They used to compliment me on like how I looked. Like my family thought that I was like seeing somebody, like seeing a dude that just was making me glow like that. But little did they know I was just in a season of complete surrender to Christ, and also in a season where I was so committed to being where I wanted to be in life. And those two factors, plus working out, because I used to work out a lot, those three factors, oh my God, I just glowed like never before. And I was internally happy. And I'm gonna speak on that too. I'm getting so many different like revelations, right? But I say all that to say, when I was in that season where I just was committed to him, and I was by myself, and I was where I wanted to be, living in the home that I wanted to live in, living in the city that I wanted to live in, it wasn't nobody but just me and Jesus. It was a sense of peace. It was a sense of just opportunity after opportunity. And I was genuinely happy, like internally happy, inside and out. And I just remember in that season of my life how I was devoted. I was just devoted, y'all. I was devoted to him day and night. Because even though I was in that season that I prayed for and manifested and wished for and did all I could and worked hard for, there were still moments of my life then where I still needed his guidance on some areas. and I still needed like help, not financial help. I mean, I needed help on, feeling like I needed help with feeling like I can have all this, and just feeling like I can experience even better from there. Like, it was still it was just a lot. It was a lot that even though I was where I wanted to be and I was happy, there were still things on the back end that I struggled with and I still needed help on. But in general, I was so happy, like so happy. And then, but the thing with that was that season was very short-lived, like very short-lived. And then, excuse me. And then, like 2.5, almost 3 years later, I get to another season or another chapter of my life, and I was happy, but I was happy, but I also was putting a lot of my happiness in the hands of someone. And on top of that, I wasn't following Christ. I wasn't as fervent in the Lord as I was before, when it was just me and just God, and I was obedient, like truly obedient to Him. And it's like, now that I'm in a season where He's telling me, I need that obedience back from you, I was so reluctant. I was like, this is gonna seem crazy. Like, this is gonna be so hard to do. Like, what? Like, I just couldn't fathom. I just could not fathom for the longest. And I finally had the courage and the strength, and He also had to reveal to me the importance, once again, of being obedient to Him. And I finally got to a place where I said, you know what? F with it. Excuse my French. But I was like, F with it. Like, I'm just gonna follow after Christ. Just blatantly continue to follow after Christ, no matter how it looks. And I was willing to sacrifice a whole lot for it. And the only reason why I feel like I was once again open to the unknown, even though the unknown is so scary for me. Like, I think one of the reasons why I was so open to the unknown is because I just remember when I was in that season of being truly happy, like internally, I was so open to the unknown then, and open to all the promises that God had for me. And even though it's years later after that fact, that in my mind, there is a sense of comfort that comes with blindly following Christ. There is a sense of He's going to take care of you no matter what, no matter how it looks like, no matter what it looks like, He's going to take care of you. And once you can learn to like take that risk for Him, there is nothing that He won't do and can't do for you. And that's what I'm trying to get at. that's where I'm really trying to go with here with that is when you finally can take that leap of faith and trust the unknown, but trust the unknown in Christ. It's like, it's so much freedom. And it's crazy to think that I was fighting all of this for so long. Like, I was pushing back, right? I was pushing back from believing this again. I was pushing back from knowing this again. From even going through that moment again. I was pushing back because I'm like, my circumstance is going to look a whole lot different than it did like 3.5 years ago. But with Christ, like I said, he just wants to know how committed you are to him. And there's people who have followed him and who have done what he has called them to do and have been obedient and have sacrificed even for the unknown and have trusted him, even no matter how much it looked, even no matter how much it looked like, trusted him, and like they're living their life in complete bliss, because not only are they living through the honor and the reverence of Christ, but they don't care about what they have. They're willing to let go of all that they have because they know God will just bless them right back again, like give it right back to them and in a bigger way. And that's where I'm trying to go with this spiritual journey that I'm on with him. I'm trying to trust and believe that, like, whatever he's calling me to be obedient to, whatever he's calling me to give up, knowing that he'll bless it right back to me 10 times bigger, bless it right back to me in a bigger way or in a different way, but in a more spectacular way. If y'all don't get nothing else from this, just trust him no matter what it looks like. Yeah, it may look even more crazy when you obey him. Your life may look even more crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I still believe that's one of the best things you can do is follow him, trust him for what he's calling you to do, walk in the path that he's calling you to walk in. And honestly, I was fighting this thing. I was fighting it because there was something that while I was being obedient to him and while I was trusting him, there was things that he was requiring me to give up, and I just could not. For the longest, y'all, I just could not think to just give it up. I just couldn't. I didn't want to give it up. I couldn't think to give it up. I just was like, anything but that. Anything but that. And you don't want to get to a point where he has to take it from you. You don't want to have to get to that point. You don't want to have to get to that point where you can't give it up so much that now he's required to just take it from you. Instead of him asking, hey, do you mind offering this up for me, for my good, for my greater good, you want to be able to just offer it up then in that manner versus him stripping you of it. And then you crying at the mercy of his feet, begging him to restore you and give you the strength and give you the power to bounce back again, and you're begging him to just, in so many ways, take the pain away because you failed to be obedient the first time when he asked. Take it from me, because that's what I've been going through. Crying at the mercy of Christ, because I'm like, Lord, why? Lord, why? But while I was going through, here's some scriptures that encouraged me along the way. I got my Bible, y'all. I got my Bible. This is my Bible. Trusted and true. Yes, it got some stains on it, coffee stains. Yes, the seam of it is ripped off, but I've had this Bible since high school. And that was like some years ago. So yeah, this is my Bible. But I got some scriptures for you today. Oh, number 1. I just happened to come across a scripture that I highlighted. Job 41. Job 41, verse 11. Who confronted me that I should repay him? Everything under the heaven belongs to me. So, yeah. Okay. So, a couple of scriptures that I really have been reading and taking fervor to is the first one is coming from John 15. I got it highlighted so y'all can see. Like, I have been reading the word. If there has been nothing else I've been doing lately, even though it seems like all hell has been breaking loose in my life, if there's nothing else I've been doing, it's been praying and reading his word. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. So, John 15, verse 6. Actually, no. John 15, verse 7 and 8. This is what has been like really helping me, really keeping me. It says, if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you produce much fruit and prove to be my disciples. Again, John 15, verse 7 and 8. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you produce much fruit and prove to be my disciples. So there you go. If you remain in him, y'all, you can get whatever you want. And the other verse, I want to think it's coming from Corinthians, I think. Yes, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 5. Verse 5 through 15. I'm gonna read. Well, it's a bit much, but we're gonna read it. 1 Corinthians 3, 5 through 15. What then is Apollos, and what is Paul? They are servants through whom you believed, and each has the role the Lord has given. I planted Apollos, watered, but God gave the growth. Verse 7, so then neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God gives the growth. Now, the one planting and the one watering are one in purpose, and each will receive his own reward according to his own labor. For we are God's co-workers. You are God's field, God's building. According to God's grace that was given to me, I have laid a foundation as a skilled master builder, and another builds on it. But each one must be careful how he builds on it. Talking about the foundation. You got to be careful who's building your foundation. Is your foundation built on God, on Christ, on Jesus, or is it built on someone else or something else? Got to be careful what your foundation is built on. Verse 11, for no one can lay another foundation than what has been laid down. That foundation is Christ Jesus. If anyone builds on that foundation with gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, each one's work will become obvious, for the day will disclose it, because it will be revealed by fire. The fire will test the quality of each one's work. That's what I've been going through. That fire. I have been going through that fire, being tested by the fire to know what's in my heart. What do I know to be true? If anyone's work that he has built survives, he will receive a reward. That goes right back to what I just said. Like, if you can get to that point where you can give it up, give up whatever God is calling you to give up, and trust him every time he's asking you to trust him, every time he's asking you to follow him in the unknown. If you can be obedient to that, right here it just says it. If anyone's work, it says, if anyone's work that he has built survives, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burnt up, it will be lost, but he will be saved. Yet it will be like an escape through fire. Don't you yourselves know that you are God's sanctuary? This was another verse that gave me comfort. 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. Don't you yourselves know that you are God's sanctuary, and that the Spirit of God lives in you? If anyone destroys God's sanctuary, God will destroy him. For God's sanctuary is holy, and that is what you are. Y'all, my leg keeps going numb. I keep trying to move it. Do y'all ever have that problem when you sit on the crisscross for too long? You gotta stretch, and then eventually your butt go numb, your legs go numb. Okay. Whew. Golly. But yeah, like I'm saying, that scripture, 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, oh my gosh, that gave me so much, because it mentioned, don't you know that you are God's sanctuary, that you are Christ's sanctuary? And it mentioned too, if you are Christ's sanctuary, I'm trying to go back to it because y'all forgive me. Because I had a point about that. Yeah. Don't you yourselves know that you are God's sanctuary, and that the Spirit of God lives in you? If anyone destroys God's sanctuary, God will destroy him, for God's sanctuary is holy, and that is what you are. It's a reason why he asks so much from his people. It's a reason why he asks so much, because he asks so much because he wants to do so much in the lives of those who will be obedient to his calling, those who will be obedient to his will. It's a lot he want to do with you. It's a lot he want to reveal to you. It's a lot he want to bring you out of. It's a lot he want to bless you with. It's a lot that he just want to make known to you. And he can't make that known to everybody because not everybody is willing to take the risk. And for the ones who is willing to take the risk, you just heard me read in so many ways and in so many different words. He will give you a great reward for the trial and the tribulation that you go through. He will bless you beyond means. You know, he will be diligent to what you are asking and what you are going through. Like he will favor you. But it comes with the cost of surrendering to him. It comes with the cost of following him into the unknown. The very unknown that so many people is afraid to just partake in. But he says, if you can trust me and go with me into this season, into the unknown, I will make it worth your while. God can make it worth your while. Yeah, so I just want to say that. Also, I'm torn because I see people walking in the park and I'm like, man, I kind of want to walk in the park too now. Yeah. We're gonna walk, friend. We're gonna walk, okay? So I'm about to put my stuff up and we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk and talk. I'll see you later. All right, friend. We are out walking. Whew. So yeah. I want y'all to see the scenery. It's so beautiful out here. Let's see here. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at God's work. Favorite places, one of my favorite places in the world. Look at this beautiful park, sky, the water, the grass, the trees. It is so beautiful out here. Y'all make it to y'all local parks and enjoy nature. Enjoy God's work. It's beautiful. I know every park is different, but and just get out and enjoy the sun. Enjoy what God created. It's like the Bible says, it's here today, gone tomorrow. Not literally though. Not literally, just figuratively. But I say that to say, just enjoy, get out and see what is to be seen. Nature is so beautiful. Nature is so peaceful. It's really one of God's rarest and greatest gifts is to give us nature. Like, oh, look at this tree. Look how beautiful this tree is. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Everything. This park is so big and beautiful. So please go out and enjoy all that God has created. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm back. I had to take a break. I'm tired. I don't know what I thought after eating the ice cream and then walking. Yeah. So, I'm gonna wrap up this video now, y'all. I'm gonna wrap up this video now, but I want you to take from this particular video: obey Christ, no matter how it looks. Obey him at all costs. Like, if I can't stress and emphasize nothing else, it's obey him. Follow his, let me switch it this way. Follow his instruction for what he is telling you to do. You will not regret it. After, you may regret it maybe a little bit, but that's really not how you feel. You just mad and upset because it's a lot going on that you didn't think would happen. Like with me. I did not think that obeying him would mean a lot of things would come unraveling in my life that I did not foresee. But even with that, I don't regret following him and obeying him. And that's what I want to be made known and clear now. So yeah, follow him, obey him. I'm about to wrap this video up and make a part 2 because I want to talk about something else. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this message, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm always going to be giving you updates, not just about myself, but updates from the kingdom, updates from what God is doing in my life only. And hopefully along the way, you can learn something. You can enjoy what I'm saying, and you can have fun over here on this channel with me. But the main thing is I'm just trying to get you in the kingdom. I'm just trying to get you closer to God, sis. Closer to God, bruh. That's all I'm trying to do in my own way. So please stay tuned. I have another message that I'm going to do because I just got a download of the next thing that I would like to talk about. So please stay tuned and just follow up by clicking on the next video that I'm about to make. In the meantime, peace, love you. Please subscribe, please like, and yes, stay tuned for more.